Hi guys. So this is I guess present Brittany. Um I'll be kind of sending you guys back in time a couple of days to visit past Brittany in a minute, but I just wanted to tell you guys that so there has been an update. I have received my Nintendo 2DS XL. I'm very excited. I will be opening that Easter Sunday, so um, yeah, so that's very exciting. I am also getting myself a Switch Lite. Yes, I found one online in my local community. Someone is selling one for an excellent price. And so I contacted them, and we're going to be setting up for me to purchase that from them, and that is also very exciting. So I will have both a 2DS XL and a Switch Lite, and my husband will, of course, have his Switch Lite and his GameCube. So that is just fantastic. Um, Let me know down in the comments in terms of the Switch Lite, the GameCube, and the Nintendo 3DS games. Let me know which ones are your favorites. I'd be interested to know. Um, my husband and I aren't really big, like Xbox, PlayStation people. We love Nintendo. We've always loved Nintendo. Um, and also, GameCube as well. My husband's really liked the GameCube for a long time, so. And yeah, so okay. I also wanted to let you guys know that today I will be starting Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. I am very excited about that. I think it's going to be a fabulous story. Um yeah. Um if uh yeah, so I think that's about all I wanted to say. Um if you are subscribed to my channel and you would like to, my Twitter handle is below, but if you would like to, if you are a fellow fantasy booktuber or a fellow autism booktuber or a fellow gaming booktuber, whatever, or gaming booktuber, a fellow gamer, whatever. If you are a fellow YouTuber and you would like to be friends on Facebook, if I've spoken to you on here before, send me an email at my email. It's below, and I will make arrangements with you privately that you'd be able to send me a friend request on Facebook. Okay. Also, if you guys would like anything made, my husband is a crafter. He does make crafts. So they're all out of really high quality canvas. He can do um, a lot of things. He can do jewelry, um, uh, Kleenex box covers, baby blocks, toys like castles, toys for kids, um, doll houses, uh, placemats, table runners, napkin rings, office organizers, magnets, ornaments, wall hangings, like lots of different things that he can do um, with this canvas that he has. So if you guys are bookmarks, book sleeves, like tons of stuff. So if you guys are interested in potentially having something made, um, feel free to just you can either send me an email or you can look at his Facebook page, which is down below, his business page, and you can just send him a message on there. Or I believe his business phone number is below as well. So you can always call him or text him, and let him know what you want and what colors you want and that kind of thing. And yeah, so that's about it, I think. Yeah, I think that's about it. Okay, now on with the video. Hi everybody, my name is Brittany and welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I do videos about books and autism related things here on this channel. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and hopefully you will enjoy. Okay, so I'm filming in my room. My room is a mess because I have been recovering from a chest cold. It's been hanging on quite a bit. I've had this chest cold for going over 3 weeks now. Yeah, it's Tuesday, so it'd be 3 weeks today. 3 weeks I've had this chest cold. So, it has been getting better, but hopefully it just continues to get better. Yeah. So today I wanted to just move here. Yeah, I'm just I am just waking up, so my husband had to get up early. He had to go and do some chores and stuff. So, and I guess I just want to talk to you guys a bit about just sort of the world situation, and how that has affected me as an autistic person. It has had quite a big effect on my spoons, if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, there's this thing that called the spoon theory. If you don't know what that is, I think I've talked about that in a previous video. I'm not sure. I think probably have. But anyway, the spoon theory is a way of sort of talking about your energy levels and sort of how much you can handle on a daily basis. And yeah, so. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk about sort of the world situation and kind of what sort of impact that has had on me personally in my life. I kind of questioned doing this video, but I think it's important. So yeah, so let's just get on into it. If you don't want to hear about this or you think it might be triggering for you, please click away now. I don't want, not that I don't want you here, of course I want you here, but I don't want you here if you're going to be triggered, if that makes sense. I don't want to be, the cause of you being triggered. So, yeah. So me as an autistic person, I have quite a hard time adapting to change. That's one thing about being autistic, is that for myself anyway, the way that it's affected me, I do not cope with change well. I have a routine and I like to stick to that routine. How do I say this? Unless I am the one who initiates the change, if that makes sense. So for example, if I go to a restaurant, I will usually order the same thing. if I decide that I want to order something different, I can do that and it's not an issue for me. But if someone else was to go up and order for me and was to order something different than what I usually get, I would quite literally have a breakdown. um it I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it at all. At all. In any way, shape, or form. I just can't. So so obviously the staying inside thing has been, it's been hard. It's strange because I I always stay inside. Like I've always been very much a homebody. I've never been huge on going places. Um I like home. I like to be at home. In general, right? So this, I guess, the staying in hasn't really been the most difficult thing for me. It's been more the anxiety about sort of, now that I look back, it's actually caused me panic attacks um, over, just fighting off the chest cold and originally thinking, oh my God, and panicking, health anxiety, that kind of thing. Um, but also just trying to manage things, you know, having my parents take off to the cottage for, basically living there on and off, but pretty much living there until everything sort of calms down, and which is fine. I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, they do that all the time, so it's not really anything new. And me being on ODSP, not being able to work, and my husband, with his little business that he has, um, we've been very fortunate. Let me put it that way. We've been very fortunate. We haven't had to deal with a loss of income. In fact, we're actually going to be dealing with more income than what we would normally, um, which for us is a blessing. Um, this extra income has allowed us to do certain things, like, for example, get each other Easter presents and, things that we wouldn't normally be able to do outside of our one sort of outing or spending a month. So, it's quite good for us. It's quite nice for us. Um, at this point, things are very up in the air, and that's been very hard on me, simply because I don't know if we're going to be staying here for the next, 10, 20 years, or if we are going to be moving back to the apartment that we were living in a couple of years ago. And not that apartment, but like that same duplex, like if my mom owns it. So I'm not sure if we're going to be moving back there and then having them move into the other half and then selling this place, or if we're all just going to stay here. I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I just don't know. My mom and I were actually discussing this last night, and it's that not knowing, you know, not knowing what the world is going to look like after all this happens. You know, just not knowing how people are going to act towards me, because people are going to be different. People aren't going to be the same as they were. At least I don't think so. I'm banking on the idea that people are going to be different. People are going to be fundamentally changed by this experience. And that frightens me because I'm people I find are already unpredictable enough as it is. Um so having more of that unpredictability has been, it's been hard. It's been very, very hard on me. It's caused me a lot of anxiety. It's caused me panic attacks, like not just anxiety attacks, but panic attacks, which I never used to have. Um, yeah, so it's been a lot. But what I will say is that there are definitely some positives that have come out of this. Um, Obviously there's a lot of positives for the environment that have come out of this in terms of, places seeing blue skies for the first time in years, and, creatures being able to come back and have life that they didn't have before. And, these kinds of things have been very positive coming out of this. The other thing that I found coming out of this is that by having people stay home, obviously it's not going to last forever, but by having people stay home and physically distance themselves, honestly, physical distancing doesn't bother me at all. Really, it doesn't. Because the only person who I really would get close to anyway was my husband and my mom, and maybe my dad on occasion, but that's it. Like, I was never a big, like, I was never like a touchy person. Like, I didn't shake hands, I didn't hug goodbye, I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, physical touch was big for me. Like, I don't actually have a problem with showing affection or saying I love you. It's just touching is a big thing for me. So, yeah. So having the rest of the world now being essentially forced to act in a touch aversive manner um has been nice for me in a way. Um and also being so introverted, it's been nice for to see other people, like, because extroversion and being touchy-feely was always the norm, I guess. And I just feel like it's nice to have that is a change that I am appreciative of, I guess, because it makes me feel like, how do I say this? Not like an outsider, I guess, if that makes sense. It makes me feel like I'm not an outsider. And I always kind of felt on the outside looking in. So to have, I mean, I still do, but it's lessened now with everything that's going on. I don't feel odd. I don't feel out of place. Um, the other great thing is that it has forced me to stop touching my face because I was a really bad nail biter. Um, and I've been trying to kick the habit for years, and now with all this going on, I finally have done it. If you can see, my nails have actually are growing out, and I am beyond excited and beyond proud of myself for that. Like, I'm super excited about it. I'll finally be able to paint my nails and not feel weird about it. Um, yeah, so that's kind of how it's affected me. Not a lot has changed, I guess, and I'm happy about that. I'm really, really happy that, I'm not one of these people who has to deal with a hard loss of income or things like that. I'm so happy that the government has stepped up to support people who are on assistance, and that, they're looking out for me, basically. My income hasn't changed. It's actually gotten to be more than what I would normally, receive in terms of, because of everything that's going on. There's going to be more than what I would normally receive. So, that's really nice and kind of the government, and I really appreciate them doing that for me. Um, I really appreciate them doing that for everyone who is on assistance, people who have disabilities, who can't work, who can't hold down a job. Um, and to be able to have ODSP and be on ODSP, and to be able to have my husband, making a little bit of money from a hobby that he does, because he mentally cannot hold down a job either. um, due to his own issues. It's just really, really nice to have that support, and to know that we are being looked after and we are being cared for. Um, it makes me feel safe. It makes me feel good to know that. It makes me feel like I can do things like, for example, buy myself an Easter gift or my hubby an Easter gift that would, help my anxiety quite a bit. Also, I've reached out to our local community about my anxiety, and the response that I have had has been overwhelming. Um, I have been so fortunate to have people who actually cared enough to reach out to me. Not that my family doesn't care, of course they do. They love me and I love them and they're always there for me, but to have someone who is, people who I don't know very well, um, to have them reach out to me, and say things and do things to help me, like writing me cards and letters, which I love. I love getting mail. It's one of my favorite things in the world, hence why I love online shopping, because I love mail. Um, it's just, it's so nice. It's so nice, and I'm so grateful to the Postal Service and just to all those workers and to everyone who has written me and everyone who has reached out to me. Um, I just, also to all of the frontline workers, in the medical field, everyone who is reaching out and helping people like me to get through this. It just means the world. It really, really does. And, you know, when times are, not perfect, that's, I think, when people's true colors really show. And that's just my opinion. But yeah, no, I'm very, very happy. I just probably up a little bit here. Um, and I'm happy that we have that security and that we don't have to worry about income, and we don't have to worry about, you know, things like that. It's just, and as far as buying things, like, yeah, we stocked up on a few things back when everyone was panic buying. Um, but no more than we normally do. And to be honest, when I was young, my parents, there was two teenage boys, myself, my mom, and my stepdad living in this house. My two stepbrothers, myself, my mom, and my stepdad. So, two parents and three kids. So, and my mom and my stepdad have always been on a not a low income, but they had to budget just like anybody, right? So, being on a budget, it was definitely something. My mom used to go to the store and she would buy, you know, she had these she still has these big, large glass jars. Okay, they're huge. They're like they're they're big. Um, like extra, extra large glass jars, and she fills them with rice and pasta, um, and keeps them in our pantry, along with, all the spices that she has. Whenever she gets spices, she always keeps them in the pantry, and when she uses them, she only uses a little bit at a time. And having just that, we also have a fridge with a freezer out in our garage, that we also always keep, extra things in, like frozen juice and different things like that. But my point is that she has always stocked up on bulk food. There has always been a store, I guess, of food in this house. Always. um, pandemic or not, even, before all this happened, even when I was a kid, there was food. There was always, food in this house. I had to tell you guys a funny story. So my brother, he used to go to a friend's place after school, and his friend's mom, I guess she was on a budget too, but instead of doing it smart and buying things in bulk, non-perishable things, she would buy like these, easy heat pizza pockets and stuff like that. And my brother would come home and he'd see all the cans of vegetables and soup and pasta and, bag of potatoes and vegetables and things here in the house. And he would say, "There's no food in this house. There's no food in this house." And we would look at him and we'd go, yeah, there is food. You just have to make it. You just have to actually get up and make it. It's not like just, toss it in the microwave. You know, there's plenty of food. You just have to get up and make it up for yourself. So, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of a funny story. But anyway, I'm rambling. But that was kind of the intent of this video anyway, was a bit to ramble. But just to show you that, like, there are positive things. I mean, my hubby and I, we sit down, we read, we always used to read books together, but, he'd read his book and I'd read mine. But, the other night we sat down and we watched a full-length movie together. We haven't done that in a long time. To just sit down and enjoy a movie together. The other thing we did the other night is we actually sat down and we played cards. We played Pokemon cards. Like, these things, and we also played a board game. We have a Hunger Games board game. We played that as well. Like, there's just so many things that we never, we either did them and didn't fully appreciate them, because we'd always be in a rush to go do something else, or we would not do them. So, like, even when we would sit and read, it was like, okay, I'm going to finish this chapter, and then I got to run into town for this, or I got to go here, I got to go there, I got to do this, got to do that, But now, with everything being shut down, we just have a lot more time, and it's nice. It's nice to kind of go back. Like, I remember feeling this way when I was a kid, really appreciating my days and the time that I had, and, just even, just being fully immersed and just living life. I mean, for me, like, I do play video games. I play the odd video game. I'm not a huge gamer, but I've gotten to be. I've gotten to play quite a bit more video games than I did, which has been nice because it's something that my husband really enjoys doing, and it's something that I also enjoy doing. So it's really nice because when we, personally, I'm more of a fan of handheld consoles, because I can take them with me wherever I'm going. Not that I'm going anywhere right now, but yeah, but I like being able to transport them around the house, and if I go out and do something with the dogs or whatever, then I can take it with me. I can take it out on the deck and sit outside in the sunshine and play, and I can whatever. So it's actually really nice to have it be handheld like that. Yeah. So, but for us, one of the nicest things has been these moments where we will actually sit in the living room. I'll be on my gaming system and he'll be on his, and we will actually sit and just game and just play for an hour or so. And we'll help each other. He'll say, hey, can you come over here and help me with this? And I'll say, hey, can you, like, and we help each other out with it. And it's been a really great bonding experience for us, especially when there are times when, um, you know, we haven't really found any games that we can both play at the same time. But we used to when we both had Nintendo DSs, the original DSs. Um, we ended up getting rid of them, but we used to play the same games at the same time, and that was a lot of fun. That was years ago, but now, in terms of gaming, I guess I'll just show you guys here. So I do still read a lot, but I'm generally either reading, writing letters, playing video games, or watching TV, or, doing stuff with my dogs and my cats. That's pretty much my life now. And my husband, for his therapy, that he's in, he has to pretty much do the same thing. He has to hunker down, and not only for helping to flatten the curve, but also, it's just good for his mental health. It's this thing has actually been very good for him, for his mental health, because he was always had a problem, prioritizing time at home and just being at home. And now that he has to, he's actually finding that he enjoys being at home. He likes reading. He likes, sitting and playing on his game console. He likes, watching TV and having a cuddle with me, these kinds of things. You know, Inviting the dogs up or inviting the cat up, these kinds of things. He just journaling. He's taken to journaling now, which has been fantastic. I'm hoping that, wanting to spend his days doing these things, as well as obviously going out and going swimming and stuff, but I'm hoping that a lot of the love he has for doing these things will continue with him even after this is all done. I'm really hoping that his new routine will stick, and that he will be able to make those changes that he needs to make. Um, so yeah, so I'm very very excited for that. But yeah, in terms of gaming, so for Christmas I bought my husband, ta-da, Nintendo Switch Lite. I bought this for him at Christmas. This was his Christmas present, and a couple of games for it. I have coming in the mail for myself a Nintendo 2DS XL. If you guys don't know what that is, look it up. It's the 2DS XL. So it's basically the 3DS and the 3DS XL have been discontinued. The DS, DSi, DS Lite, those have all been discontinued. The only members left of the 3DS family are the 2DS, the original 2DS, which is smaller, and it's just one piece, and it's good for kids. It's very durable. Um, and then there's the 2DS XL. The 2DS XL I like because it's got that clamshell design, and it's the flip, like you flip it open, and it's got the two screens plus the buttons. I really like that myself. I know I eventually will have to move over to a Switch Lite. But for the time being, but honestly, even when I do eventually go to a Switch Lite, I will never get rid of my 2DS or my 3DS games until my 2DS literally wears out. And even then, I'll probably go to like a secondhand shop and look for a DS, look for a 2DS or a 3DS, so that I can play those games as well. Because I love that family of games, and I don't ever want to be without them, simply because they calm a lot of anxiety for me when I'm having a really tough time. To be able to throw on one of those games and get lost in it for a while, which is pretty much daily. getting either lost in a book or lost in the game. Um, having that balance between those two has been really, really beneficial for me for my anxiety. Also, stimming, if I'm, doing something, if I need to stim, playing a game on a handheld game console is a great way to stim. It really is. It's fantastic for stimming. The repetitiveness of the buttons, it's really, really great. I love it. It's one of my favorite stimming things to do. Um, yeah. So my handheld game console is pretty much my will be and was before pretty much my constant companion um, for when I was stressed. So yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. I'm very, very excited about it. I can't wait for it to come in. I bought it used, and I'm super, super excited for it to come in. Um, my husband's Switch Lite, part of his therapy is that he has been assigned certain games um, to help him with some of his mental health struggles. Um, there have been certain games he's actually been prescribed to play this for about 3 hours a day. He has a lot of other things he has to do too, like an hour of housework, um, you know, um, an hour of reading, an hour of this, an hour of that. But the point is that in his schedule, he is to do 3 hours of gameplay. Specifically, the games that have been prescribed to him. Um, if you are interested in learning more about that, about games and, how some games can actually benefit your mental health, whereas other ones don't, and they actually put you in a really bad headspace. I can certainly do a comparison video for games. I've spoken with my doctor as well, but also I've spoken with um, my husband's therapist, and I've spoken with quite a few people who I know who play games a lot, and they, you know, and it's something that they do, and that's great. But they've actually spoken to me about which games they find are beneficial and which ones are not. Um, so yeah, and definitely books too. Obviously, I am a booktuber. I love books. I love reading. I've got my husband starting to read the Witcher book, the first one, Blood of Elves, I think it's called. And for me, I recently finished and posted a review for Tarnished Are the Stars. So please, if you by Rosie Thor. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. It'll be on my channel. Just go look and check that out. And yeah. Excuse me. Okay. I think that's all I wanted to say in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. For Easter, I'm getting my Nintendo 2DS XL and a carrying case for it and a couple of games, and I got my husband a couple more games that he has been prescribed for his Switch and a carrying case for his Switch. So it's very exciting. Yeah. So I guess I'll just finish this video by saying that, Dumbledore was right when he said happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. And it's so true. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling isolated, turn on the light. That doesn't mean go out. No, of course not. Like, we all have to do our part, of course, to flatten this and, like, stay home to keep yourself safe and keep others safe. But also, turn on the light. Make a YouTube video chat with someone, with a family member. Get lost in a new book series. There are plenty of really epic adventurous, incredible fantasy book series that are long. So they'll keep you busy for a while. You know, color if you like that. Color in a coloring book and don't feel guilty for taking that time. Have a bubble bath, work on a jigsaw puzzle, um, you know, um, maybe do crosswords if that's your thing. I don't know. I know there's a lot of online, get into online gaming. There's a lot of online gaming communities um, that would be more than happy to welcome you and you know, you can play your games with other people, you can make new friends, and not only that, but you can play with your friends if any of your friends game, or even if you join an online gaming community. It's a great way to meet new people, make new friends that you can always access through that virtual world. um and yeah, it's just really, really great. And and if you don't like doing those things, or like if you haven't really given them a shot, give them a shot. Don't sell something out before you try it. And I promise you, I guarantee you, you will find a new passion. There are hundreds, thousands of different passions and activities that you can explore without ever having to leave your home. And now is the time to do that. Now is the time to explore those and to, you know, take that time and do that self-care. Everyone always says, "Oh, well, I want to explore a new hobby, but I don't have time." Well, guess what? You have time now. So do it. And enjoy it. Fully enjoy it. You know, you're not a homebody. Well, instead of sitting around, feeling bad, wishing that you could be out with your friends or whatever, you know, embrace a new reality as a homebody. Because I promise, if you don't spend all your time thinking about when will this end, when will this end, when will this end, and you instead fully embrace it and learn to enjoy it, and even when it does end, take those new enjoyments with you and don't be in like a huge rush to just rush out right away, like you're breaking free from prison or something. But if you learn to fully enjoy your new life, or the temporary new life that we are all experiencing, if you learn to fully enjoy it and to pursue those new hobbies and do those things, I promise you the time will fly by and you will enjoy it, and things will be back to normal before you know it, and you'll be saying, "Oh, back to normal already? Really? You know? Yeah. Oh, I have to go back to work already? I have to go back to school already?" You know? So, I think that's important. And, as an autistic person, I fully understand how hard it is to adapt to a new way of being. However, I did read something once that said adapting to a new way or forming a new, hobby or habit or whatever, it only takes 30 days. And with a lot of this expected to be done and over with by end of April, now's a great time to do that, to make those 30-day habits. Start those habits today and do them for 30 days. And that way then when the restrictions slowly start coming off, you'll have new and healthy habits to take with you and to continue and to be able to mix into your life what will be your new life, instead of fighting for the world that we had before this happened, because it's not going to come back. So we might as well enjoy the new. And also it's kind of nice for me because it makes me feel like I'm not such a weirdo for wanting to stay home all the time. But yeah, no, but just instead of fighting it, enjoying it, and trying to make the best of it, and just and fully enjoying it. Because like I was saying, the world is fundamentally changed. It is different. The world is always fundamentally changing, continually. But we don't notice it a lot of the time. Human beings, we don't really notice it or take the time to notice it, or I don't know what it is. If it's arrogance, if it's what it is, but I know for myself, I didn't really notice until something big happens and we realize, oh my God, the world is always changing. It's changing beneath our feet. And right now, with everything that's going on, the world is changing rapidly. It is changing at a pace that we haven't seen in a long time. And that's scary. But all I can say is, try your best to fully enjoy the new normal. And, however long this lasts, it won't last forever. But when we do emerge, I promise you that the world will be fundamentally different. And we are going to have to adapt to that. Once this is over, I very much doubt it will be something as simple as, just coming out of our house and, having the world be, instantaneously overnight back to the way it was. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that there are going to be a lot of things that are going to be fundamentally changed. And I think that we are all going to have to take some time to adapt. And I think that that's just what's happening. We are in a period of change. So, to everyone who has reached out to me, everyone, all my friends and family and supporters, all my subscribers, everyone who is working on the front lines to help us get through all of this, and everyone who is, just there helping, and, the postal workers, everybody, thank you. Thank you, and thank you to, the government workers who are the ones who, make sure that I get my check every month. Thank you to the workers. Thank you to the taxpayers who, are making sure that I am looked after, because I cannot work. And my husband cannot work. So we cannot hold jobs. And so, and me being autistic and suffering from some other disabilities as well, just thank you. Thank you to everyone who helps me, who has always helped me, who helps me every day, every month, every year. The taxpayers, the government workers, the postal workers, the, my family, especially my family, my friends, everybody. Just thank you. Thank you so much for everything, and know that I do appreciate it, and that I always will appreciate it. I probably won't give another thank you like this for a long time, but that's because there are just so many people to thank, and I don't want to make sure no one's left out, but yeah, so yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to say in this video, and I will see you guys all next time. Alright guys, bye!